Everyone's home. Everyone's home.
Welcome back to the Melbourne Cricket Ground. Beautiful night as we go downstairs to our boundary man tonight. As always, the Big Dipper. You're looking pretty fresh, Dip.
Oh, sensational, Bruce. Why would you like to be here in Melbourne? The ground conditions, terrific here at the MCG. If you're a player tonight, you'll be very happy about the conditions. A light breeze is coming across the ground, but the atmosphere is just terrific. This reminds me a little bit about the finals. I know it's the 82nd day, but when these two great clubs get together, they certainly bring out a great crowd. And, I think Collingwood tonight will be very strong for Melbourne, especially with the inclusion of Taylor, who will line up probably in the forward line. So a very tall forward line for Melbourne to overcome. Of course, tonight, Bruce, we're going to wait down for this big countdown. I hear Sandy now. And here we go. Let's go for the countdown now, Bruce. I'll take it with you.
Are you ready?
We're ready. 9, 8, 7, I can count, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Take it away, Bruce.
So something new here in season 1997. Melbourne go to the right of screen. Big crowd, big noise, big countdown. Let's hope it's a big match. Moncourse over Steins at the start. Collingwood player flattened. Glenn Lovett gets his hand on it. It's going to be a hard ball early. Leon Chilly was impressive last week. Belts at the centre half forward. Melbourne an attack. Fantastic mark against Shoreville, taken by Ingerson, who kicked a very important goal last week in a low-scoring game. He's got good hands. He is not the most reliable kick, but he does seem to sense the occasion. He's a very honest player. Gives it his best shot to full forward. Neats and Shoreville and build it through for a behind. Interchange for Melbourne, Uze, Woden and Pyman. Richardson, I noticed, coming off for Collingwood, playing his 50th. Barnett and also Wild. They're the interchange players. So Melbourne with the first score on what is a perfect night for football. A very good crowd building as we speak. Match is starting half an hour earlier this year, and people tend to come in a bit later. Brown had bounced off, but he held it. The captain. It's going to come back. He looked in good nick last week against Port Adelaide. It was terrific to see. He had a woeful middle part of last year. Came back a bit towards the end. He's such a fine player. Gets it out wide to Crow. Crow's got some space. Collingwood fans roars. He kicks to half forward. One of the Rocker boys, it was Anthony. Now Watson caught up to Patterson, who kicked the first 3 goals against Port Adelaide. Viney working it towards the boundary line. And so's Phoebe. And with him on that boundary throw-in. Kevin Bartlett, a lot of atmosphere here tonight.
Yes, and a lot of bumping off the ball. We see Jason Taylor there. He's come into the side tonight, replacing Richard Osborne, being picked up by Leon Chally. So a chance for Melbourne just 25 metres around. Taken by Viney. Gets it across to Clarkson, throwing the ball. Trying to kick there by Anthony Rocker into the pocket. Hits the line, so we've got a boundary throw-in. So Collingwood with a real opportunity. Melbourne one behind. Collingwood yet to score. Clarkson on screen. Veteran now of 117 games. Second in the best and fairest last year. Great pick-up for Melbourne. Rocker, Anthony, taps it down, taken by Viney, trying to crash his way through. Hopgood, ever reliable, heads towards the boundary line. Crow, can he trap it? Does well. Over the top, Tingay slaps the ball back towards the boundary line. Crow, 25-metre hand pass to no one, taken by Stephen Phoebe. Back to Leon Chally, under pressure. Building the wall back here is Scotty Russell. It's been a wonderful pick-up since he came across in 1990. Playing a premiership in his first year. Kicks a long bomb inside 50. Here's Sav in front. Punched away by Gaspar. Couldn't take it. Hopgood bounced off his chest. Sav Rocker throws him to the ground. Comes back to Buckley. Quick hands out to Curran. Back to Crow. Great smother off the boot by Phoebe. Taylor trying to crash his way through. It's tight in the clinches. Stephen Phoebe to Jimmy Steins. He needs a bounce and he gets it.
Steins at half-back. Good diving effort there by Obst. Going to be a boundary throw-in. Tight, tense start to this match. What an effort by Steins. 219 consecutive matches. The last time he missed a match was in 1987 in round 16. It's probably a record that is going to stand the test of time. His is one of the best stories in 100 years of this game. Good handball by Clarkson. Got it to Stephen Phoebe, the centre wing. Up the back, Tingay. Charles back to Tingay. He was under a cloud with a rib injury during the week, and they were tested a bit there as he kicks the ball out of play at left half forward. There's Tingay and Curran and Clarkson, and there's the scoreboard as well. Melbourne won 1 out of its first 9 games last year, and in round 2, Collingwood walloped them. They kicked the record score against Melbourne, their highest ever. And then Melbourne paid them back a bit later in the year, but both teams off disappointing 96s, wanting a flying start to 97. Tingate caught with the footy, play on call, Glenn Lovett to Charles, kicked 3 goals in the 3rd quarter last week, kicks the ball forward, Presti Giacomo back there with Neitz, ball rolling towards the pocket, Burns getting back with Farmer, and it's a free kick to Collingwood. Coming back, it's either Burns or Presti Giacomo. Players unaware of it at the moment, Farmer wanting to give the ball up, and I think it's going to come back to Presti Giacomo at fullback.
So a great start to this game. 2 great traditional rivals, Collingwood and Melbourne. Presti Giacomo kicks a long bomb straight down the centre of the ground. Phoebe at the back of the pack. Patterson pounced on it, lost it. Lovett, tireless under the bottom of the pack as well. Stacks on the mill, and we've got a ball up inside the centre square. Not one strand of hair. Bald is beautiful. I love it. Glenn Lovett. Dennis Rich, Mark Prince, Darren McCauley, our umpires tonight. So Mark Prince puts the ball down. Monkhurst, push Steins out. Ball slapped on by Brown, comes back to Tingate, still inside the centre square. Kicks towards the half-forward line. The lead is on. Lovett's got it. Well, he came off the bench last week against North Melbourne and kicked what turned out to be the goal that really set Melbourne alight. And he kicked the first goal of the match. They're kicking from virtually right on 50. The distances might be right on the line, off hands, and through for a minor score.
And just checking some of the matchups, Nathan Buckley's been picked up by Hobbs, Anthony Rocker's been picked up by Nettlebeck as we first thought, and Gavin Brown's got a difficult job tonight. He's on Sean Charles, and the other live wire down there in the Melbourne forward line, Farmer, is being picked up by Burns.
Speaking of Burns, to kick it in, so Melbourne with a couple of behinds. It's going long. It's a half-back. Shawball a target. He's a very good high mark. Monkhorst within Viney. Goes to ground, Monkhorst. McDonald's handball okay, but Shawball now under pressure. Free kick. High against Shawball. After the ball went out of play, I guess.
This was after the tackle, Bruce. Shawball gets up to remonstrate with Ingerson.
Ingerson from centre wing, kicks to half forward. All big fly from Neitz at the back. Steins in the front spot. Brown's handball. No free kick to Collingwood there, though it looked high. McDonald gets a second go. Very good ball. Gets it across to Curran. Curran delivers into the centre. Nice kick. Good mark, Ahmad. Some neat play by Collingwood from half back there. They had to be accurate. They were. Here's their superstar, Buckley. Long kick. Rocker. That's penetrating football, isn't it? Some good play by McDonald, and then the kick by Curran to Ahmad, and then Buckley, who's such a magnificent long kick, and Rocker is going to expect that all year from Buckley off half-back.
And that will be the danger tonight, Bruce. If they can get the ball into that forward line quickly, Rocker is going one-on-one with Gasper. He's going to have too much strength.
It's normally a very good kick. Started the season splendidly with 6 goals against Port Adelaide. From 48 metres. Kicks it high and handsomely for goal. So the Magpies get the first major of the match with a build-up that could be ominous all night. Buckley's such an attacking player off half-back. They'll look to create an opportunity and give it to him a lot of times tonight.
Well, he's one of those players, and there's not that many in the competition at the moment that can actually kick the ball over a line and put you into an advantage position from a disadvantaged position. Nathan Buckley will need to be watched closely tonight.
Reminds me of a young Tony Lockett, Sav Rocker. Awesome. And they get the ball down to him quickly. Still inside the centre square. Collingwood selected for Burns to pick up Farmer and Brown to pick up Charles. 2 very good players in their big win over North Melbourne.
KB, I'm surprised that Todd Viney at the moment is picking up Ahmad because he's really been dragged out of the plane.
Steins beaten by Monkhurst, comes down to Phoebe. Stephen Phoebe goes out towards the wing. Mark here by Farmer. So the Wizards got it. They love him at Melbourne. Looks to be a superstar of the future. Kicks the ball down towards Ingerson. Couldn't take it on the half volley. Brown's had a few touches already in this first term. Gets it across the current. Back to Shawbull, who's really been in the action. The kick's a poor one. He's been marked by Obst. So he's on the edge of the centre square. The kick down. Lovett's in front. Fisted away by Krasiska. Charles nearly read it off the pack. Neats. Strong play at ground level. Quick kick into the goal square. But backing back taken is Scotty Crow. Been a good pick-up as well. Came to Magpies last year. Couldn't quite make it at Hawthorn. Robbie Armat. The kid from Darwin pops it over the top. They've got the loose player. Here's a chance now. Patterson gets the ball out wide. Loves the run with the ball. Kicks down towards centre half forward. Big chance here at the back of the pack. Anthony Rocker coming through is Gaspar. Met Soltney. Quick hands back to Jimmy Steins. Feeds it back off to Viney. Can he set it up? Can he be the playmaker? Kicks it wide. Love it. Try to take a one-hander. Tap the ball onto Leon Kelly. Taken by Matt Phoebe. Gets it to his brother there and Stephen. The terrible duo. The ball is smothered off the boot and goes over the line. So we've got a boundary throw in. And it's hectic, Timmy.
And Melbourne have made a change too. As we will check on an injury.
Looks like Hopgood
off the ground early.
Obst. High tackle, McDonald. No free kick. Obst had his head down.
What I was about to say, Bruce, is that Melbourne have made a change already. Glenn Lovett, who started on Williams, has gone on to Buckley, and Clarkson is now picking up Williams. In fact, they've changed back again.
Steins will get a free kick against Damien Monkhorst. They've had some great battles over the years. Dipper, what about Hopgood?
Bruce, unfortunately, young Hopgood has hurt his hip, and they're just icing at the moment, but it doesn't look too distressed at this stage.
Steins has kicked to half forward. Ingerson. Good take there by Russell. Back to Tingay, to Glenn Lovett. Left foot goal to full forward. Front spot needs. Couldn't hang on. Clarkson has a chance to goal. In the pocket. Brings it back. It's close. He's got it, I think. They like it. A Rovers goal. 1-2 to a goal. Melbourne back in front.
Well, he's been a good player for Melbourne since he crossed from North Melbourne, and there he is getting at the face of that crumb. Meeks not being able to take the ball and having plenty of time, Clarkson, to swing the ball back over his shoulder. And he's one player that Collingwood will have to watch on the way back. He is picking up Nathan Buckley. Buckley will do a lot of work across that half-back line, but he's going to have to watch Clarkson when Melbourne have control of the ball.
Great atmosphere at the MCG. 1-2-8. Plays one straight goal. So Melbourne straight away into attack. Lovett loses the ball. Brown's been very good in this first term. Does Shawbull. Just fumble the ball. Still gets his kick away. Crow has got space. Can he set it up? He's got leads onto the half-forward line. Taylor's made a lead. That's been ignored. He goes for a rocker in front. Got his hands on the Sheeran. Couldn't take it. Viney. Great play by Anthony Rocker. Gets it to Buckley. Runs to 50. To Robbie Armat. Goal coming up for the Pies. Great play.
Well, that was great awareness then by the Collingwood players, but Todd Viney made a most uncharacteristic mistake here. Todd electing to go back into the play. He had a clear run at the ball. There was plenty of Melbourne numbers at the ball, but he just chose the wrong option there. He had players in the centre of the ground. He could have turned back into play and become far more attacking player, but obviously going for the defensive move and losing ball.
Collingwood by 4 points. Sweeping on that mistake in the centre by Melbourne. Steins and Monkhorst. Again, a free kick to Steins. It's going to come back. No advantage given. Wants to give it off. He's got 3 Melbourne players around him. Now he's going to kick the ball laterally. It's a good kick by Woden. Has come onto the ground for Hopgood. Oh, Neat's wonderful. Absolutely spectacular. Launched himself and took a thrilling mark.
And that's a great example of the new way that Melbourne are playing this year. They went direct. Roe Woden had the opportunity probably to give the ball up as a handball or to give the ball off as a short pass. He went long, direct, and Neats took off from the top of the 10-metre square. And now he's been sent off the ground because of the blood rule. Now, the kick appears to be about to be taken by either, well, it's Charles who's going to take the kick.
Blood rule on his shin there, Timmy.
So Neat's off the ground, and Collingwood just not sure where the mark is, and Charles will take the kick. Neat's fantastic mark. That should be cleared up pretty quickly, that blood on his shin.
Looks like Viv Richards there chewing his gum, doesn't he? That same air about him.
Richardson on for Monkhorst. Now Charles kicked 3 goals last week. Only 5 matches in 2 years prior to this season because of a wrist injury. He should goal from here. He's tucked away in the pocket. It's close. Farmer likes it, but the goal umpire says no, it's a behind. So a missed chance there, and we'll never know what David would have done, but Sean misses. So 1-3 to 2 goals.
Always a good idea to wax the legs rather than go for the shave too, Kevin.
Buckley to bring the ball back. We saw Hopgood on the interchange bench along with David Neitz. Collingwood 2 straight goals, 12. Melbourne 1-3-9. So Buckley, designated kicker, finds McDonald. He's done very well since coming across from Hawthorn. Actually found himself a regular player. So he transfers the play back towards the outer side of the ground. He finds Presti Giacomo. He was off, so he has to go over the top. Finds Scotty Russell, always loves to link up. Sets it up, goes to Burns. Gives the ball back. The veteran, Chris Iska, through the centre of the ground. The kick's a high one. It's a bit of a floater. Taylor over the top. Great mark. He's coming to the side, replacing Richard Osborne. Sav Rocker's on the lead. He's already kicked one. This is a wonderful kick. He's got it. He looks awesome at the moment, Tim.
He's a great player when he moves. He's got to keep moving.
So big Sav right on 50. Distance not a problem. Great kick. Rocker has bopped it.
Well, Collingwood going a long way out of the corridor then to get the ball to Rocker. There was plenty of space out on the flank. But really, Rocker, the beauty of a player like Rocker is that he is a dangerous player even outside the 50-metre arc. If we take a look at where he actually kicked this ball from, he had to kick the ball almost 50 metres, but the ball actually passed through the goal post by another 20 metres. He really is a magnificent kick, Sav Rocker.
Collingwood off to a good start now. Rocker with 2 very good goals. That was an outstanding kick. Stein's got the tap, but Collingwood won it through Curran, but straight to Sean Smith. 1-3 to 3 goals. Linking up, Nettlebeck gets it across to Woden, taken by Brown. They love it when he gets his hands on the footy. To Russell. Russell chips away, good kick to Patterson. Patterson inboard, goes high to centre half forward. We've got some marking power tonight. Anthony Rocker and Sav Rocker, 2 flies, tried to get it out. Rocker couldn't. Melbourne get back in a hurry, and they're going to bounce. Just a moment ago, Tim, you're talking about Rocker's danger outside 50. He's probably the only full forward now that you would back outside there. Lockett's lost a bit of power, probably.
Dunstall can't get the distance now. He really is a tremendous kick. And if they can get the ball into their forward line quickly, he's going to be terribly dangerous tonight.
Nettlebeck was there. Patterson after it. So's Tingay off the ground. Matt and also Taylor. Matt very quick. Clever to Taylor. It ricochets away though from Woden. Back to Curran. Good looking kick. Another one. They're raining goals now. They've split the match open in 3 minutes. And the good thing about them, they've been so accurate with the way they've played. They kicked 11 straight goals against Port Adelaide.
Well, Bruce, I saw them early last year and they were playing the same instinctive football. Later in the year, they lost the trust in their own instincts and they really did look a terrible side. But when they're playing like this, when they're running, when they're creating, they've got that half-back line drive with Gavin Brown there creating space, and they really are a hard side to contain.
Collingwood 4 straight goals, 24. Love to know their kicking coach is down at Collingwood. 1-3-9 Melbourne. Love it. Glenn. Quick kick. Here's Brown. He's been a star. This is his 6th possession. Cross half back playing on Charles. Gives it across to Williams. Tries to drill it down towards Taylor. Punched away by Smith. Ops back to Smith. Kicks the ball back to the point of the square. Chris Siska thumps the ball away at ground level. Clarkson's pounced on it. He's already booted a goal. Goes short. He's got it. Neats. Now, they might have been unlucky before because he is a good kick for goal when he had to give it up to Charles, who missed.
And that's a good mark, that And good crumbing then by Clarkson. He really does play very front and square. And Neitz, good strong hands, but the ball was kicked into a nice space in front of him.
Well, he's directly in front, 45 metres out, so distance won't be a worry to Neitz. He's kicked it.
It's going to be a good game of footy, I think, don't you?
Fantastic atmosphere.
A lot of scoring, a lot of free-flowing sort of play. Perhaps the game will tighten up in the second quarter, maybe even in the second half. But at the moment, there's a lot of players who are running and creating. And that goal then by Neitz, really a badly needed one, very early in the game for Melbourne.
His first for the season. 15 to 24. 2 3 to 4 goals. Richardson and Steins. Williams, his second kick. Up high. 4 pairs of hands onto it. Farmer caught. Buckley's onto him. Play on call. Obbs, well done. It was a good handle under pressure. Clarkson, who's kicked to Neitz a moment ago, was outstanding. Back to Obbs. Obbs to half forward. It goes through Lovett. Pushed on by Russell cleverly. Krasiska. Williams' handball was excellent. To McDonald. To Buckley. It's exciting to watch. Beautiful kick. To Taylor. He would have been pleased with his first touch. Inboard to Curran. Can kick a goal. 55 out. Will it go over the top? You beauty, Sav. Well done.
Might have to look at Nettlebeck, Tim, because he's a bit too strong for Gaspar.
Yes, I thought that, Kevin, when they lined up, that the ball in the one-on-one body situation, Gaspar trying to do the right thing, trying to get hold of Rocker before the ball arrived.
Rocker for his third. What price? 100 the season. He's off to a fly, isn't he? He got 93 one year. This could be his moment in 1997. 2 3 to 5 goals.
Well, look at the preview for this game, though, Bruce. I did consider that they didn't have anyone that was going to hold Sav Rocker tonight because they don't have that specialist stopping backman, the Melbourne Football Club. And at the moment, rather than stop Sav Rocker, they've got to stop the supply of ball up from the midfield.
Well, he's been a goal-kicking machine, 313 goals in just 91 games for Sav Rocker. Matthew Phoebe caught, great tackle by McDonald, ties him up. 66 goals last year to Rocker, although he injured his shoulder, missed a lot of footy. 93 the year before. It's great to see a full forward in full flight. Jimmy Steins wins the tap. Buckley, quick kick inside 50 also. A winner across half-back, Anthony Rocker. Taylor can't see Viney, he's caught. Short kick, it's been marked by Leon Challey. Just lacked a bit of peripheral vision that time, Jason Taylor, but he's been good tonight. He's replaced Richard Osborne. Jimmy Steins. What a player. As Bruce said, the last time he missed a game was when Federation was announced. Kicks it back towards the centre wing. Big pack of players. Bumped away once more. Ground level. Tingay. Here come the Demons up to the half-forward line. Lovett pushing and shoving. Krasiska, clever. Here's the Wizard. Caught. Holding the man. He's so dangerous when the ball hits the ground.
A professional free kick, that one.
Probably the greatest compliment, Tim, is a man who did the professional free kick, Williams, because he too can go and has all the skills, but he didn't back himself against the whiz. No,
an exceptionally quick player, Farmer. Also interesting to see that Sean Charles has now walked Buckley back to the goal square. Obviously, Melbourne concerned about the drive. Buckley's been...
Farmer 40 metres out. He's pushed it left.
And that can sometimes be the difference between two sides. Melbourne have kicked 2-4. They've had 6 shots. Collingwood have taken the ball down there, and on every occasion they've nearly been able to kick a 6-pointer, as we see Damien Moncourse resting on the bench at the moment. Richardson has come on to replace him.
A couple of touches from Anthony Rocker have been exciting too tonight. Sav with 3 goals, his brother. Here's Krasiska. Spears the ball, but not a good result. Cut off there by Tingay. It's about 55 metres out. He's just too far to score. The goal square's vacant. He gives it his best shot. It's a good kick right there. Oh, neat! As Farmer took off early. Free kick to Collingwood. Krasiska to get it. It's one of those Had Farmer taken the mark, they probably would have played it. Oh, he had his hands all over him, but they do pay them sometimes if he takes the mark. It's one of those anomalies in the game, I feel.
I think Neitz gave away a free kick, obviously to Krasiska a bit earlier, and that they were in the push in the back.
Fair enough. Krasiska long. Numbers with Melbourne, and mark taken by Ingerson. It wasn't a particularly good choice by Krasiska. There were 3 Melbourne players around. He chips. Neitz also outnumbered. Viney roves it. Has to give away a hurried handball. Back to Tingay. 40 metres out. Hooking ball. Brent Lover's got a chance here in the pocket. Couldn't hold it. And still in the pocket. Tries to sell one. Comes back and finds Clarkson at 50. Now he too is tantalisingly a couple of metres away from his distance. He's going to go short. Neitz is his target. Oh, that's a great mark. He stood his ground. He had no momentum at all, and he had the ability to hold it under good pressure.
Well, it's going to be Collingwood's worry too tonight, being able to hold the key forwards for Melbourne, as we see there. I mean, Preston was in exactly the right position for a backman, but he still wasn't able to muster enough strength to spoil the ball. Maybe they'll have to send Shawbull back there, or they'll look to another alternative. Yeah,
Shawbull on Ingerson at the moment, and Preston Giacomo on Neitz. Now, Neitz kicked beautifully a moment ago. Could have had 3 if he could. Guess I'm jumping the gun, but he's got 2. He could have had 3 had he taken that other one. And Tim, I think on reflection, that little cut on the shin probably cost Melbourne a goal.
Well, quite possibly could have, as you see David Neitz there on screen, and that really was a terrific mark under a lot of pressure. We saw David Neitz play last week at centre-half forward, and he just didn't look the player he does when he is at the full forward line. He seems to get lost when he goes up the ground. When he gets back towards a 10-metre square, and he is the focus of their forward thrusts, he seems to be a much more accomplished player.
Both sides have a dominating forward. Rockers booted 3, Neitz 2. Steins down to Lovett. Steins doing well, kicked off the ground by Tingay. Once more, it's been played at a hectic pace this game. Good play by Ops. Look at Burns. Slides under the ball to Richardson off the interchange bench. To Crow, to Russell. Been a mighty player for Collingwood. Burns, underrated. Second in their best and fairest last year. Kicks a big bomb. They've got the tall timber down there. Steins up. Rocker. Anthony claims it. Punched away by Steins. Tunnel balls the ball back. Woden to Farmer. They've got the numbers. Demons out of defence. Kicks the centre-half forward. Ingelson's the target. Good punch away by Shawbull at ground level. Love it. Quick kick. Danger here for Collingwood. Charles. Good play by Brown. It's been fantastic in this opening term.
He looks to be back to just about his best form, Gavin Brown. In the horrors last year with injuries and form, and he just couldn't get enough impetus up at any stage of the year to give the best that he has to offer. And in fact, there were some people who thought that his best was over and maybe he was finished as a player, but his game last week and the way he started tonight, he's back to his best.
Burns finds Krasiska. 3-5 to 5 goals. Excellent opening to this match. On a near perfect night for football. Krasiska to half-back. Richardson, Woden, who was ultra impressive against North. Glenn Lovett had it taken away. Buckley had it for a while. Richardson, Shawbull to Patterson. Had to wait, but it was okay. Got a kind bounce. Then comes through the centre. It's a good tactic to fall forward. Anthony Rocker looked out of position and then stretched. And he's done some things tonight that suggest he's got an outstanding football brain.
A couple of his tap-ons has been quite remarkable. He's had great vision and presence of mind, no doubt about that.
That's a good long kick to the forward line though too, isn't it? Once they seem to be instructed once they get over halfway to kick the ball long and direct to their forward line. A good tactic.
Be silly not to when you've got the 2 Rocker brothers down there.
They're on the front cover of the footy record tonight, the Rocker brothers. They haven't let their supporters down so far. What a start. It's a good kick. Isn't it great for the game when you have combinations like this? These guys are going to be legends over the next decade, aren't they? All things being equal, 3-5 to 6 goals.
Well, you can understand now why Collingwood worked so hard to get him back from Sydney to join his brother at Victoria Park, and Savrock has been sensational in this first quarter. But he really was out position on that occasion. I think that Anthony, in fact, can play laterally, whereas Sav likes to come out and he just likes to meet the ball at full tilt. But I really believe that Anthony may develop into a very fine centre-half forward.
The accuracy by Collingwood quite remarkable. 6 straight goals, 36, 3-5-23 Melbourne. They've had more scoring shots, but they trail. Buckley gives the ball back to Dennis Rich. Glenn Lovett on screen. Still inside the centre square. Smack bang in the middle of the MCG. Richardson thumps the ball away from Steins. Quick hands have been good all night. Curran goes short. Once more set up. Rocker's got it again. The terrible 2. Look at Neil Baum. He's upset. But plenty of space for him to lead into, Tim.
Well, if you get the ball into your forward line that quickly, then you're going to have that space there. And quick hands in. That was a terrific handball.
Well, his brother's kicked 3. He's kicked 1 himself. He's a big kick. He'll kick from just right on 50. It's a floater. It's starting to come back. 1 behind. So the cycle has been broken. 6-1. 37 Collingwood. The Demons are 3-5-23.
KB last week, Collingwood kicked 7 goals without a miss in the opening quarter to Port 3-2. So they're not far off it tonight. They've started absolutely brilliantly here. But Melbourne have been matching them for most of the quarter. They sort of need one before quarter time to tighten it up, but we're running out of time. Richardson and Steins. Steins has been good. He's had Moncourse taken from the ground because he was dominating him early, and it's a boundary throw-in.
Apart from those 2 big fellas in the forward line, Melbourne have been troubled also by the speed of Collingwood around the ground.
Richardson uses his body cleverly against Steins. Kicks to half forward. Diving mark by Williams. And the siren has sounded now. He's about 70 metres out. He's a good long kick. So many times I've seen him on the run kick goals from 50, but this would be exceptional. He's worth a try. Torpedo punt. His only chance, wouldn't it?
Yes, and a strong breeze to suddenly get up to.
He's got the ball in position to try the old torpedo and didn't get onto it. Kicked it about 40 metres. But Collingwood will be pretty happy with their lot at quarter time. They're 6-1 to 3-5. Tim, has been a really thrilling start to the match.
It's been an exciting brand of football played in that first quarter. And Paul Williams, who we saw on the screen a moment ago, he's been pretty well held in the first quarter by Glenn Lovett. He hasn't had much influence on this game at all, but there's been plenty of other Collingwood players who've been chipping in this first quarter, and really Collingwood off to a wonderful start.
6-1 on the scoreboard, Melbourne 3-5. So start the second quarter at the Melbourne Cricket Ground. Friday night football. Melbourne 3-5, Collingwood 6-1. Steins and Moncourse. Moncourse won the tap. Be keen to get a good start here. Clarkson over to Smith. Smith breaks away and kicks the ball to about 50. Short ball, good take. He took off. Ingerson decided to stay down. There were a number of players in front of him. Short ball backing himself in, and he took the mark. Short to Crow at half back. Good link player, Crow. Up and under kick though. Wanting Rocker. The marking power is exceptional for Collingwood tonight, so probably it's not the worst tactic around. Burns, well done, and then waits his kick to Taylor very well. Taylor decided to let it bounce in the end, and his kick is out of bounds on the fall. Started well, Taylor. He came in for Osborne tonight with a mark and then and a kick out wide that resulted in a goal. But he won't be pleased with that play. Leon Chelly's long kick. Moncourse went off early against Steins. No free kick. Out of play.
It can be unsettling too to have 2 marking players across that half-forward line. They've got Anthony Rocker. They've also got Jason Taylor. Jason Taylor likes to move around a bit too. They've got dual targets when they do go forward, Collingwood.
Moncourse and Steins. And Patterson there. And also Clarkson and Curran. So again a bounce.
Interesting, Phoebe picking up Ahmet. Ahmet's trying to walk Phoebe out of the arc, but Phoebe wants to stay in there and guard the space.
Half forward right for Collingwood. Now Moncourse front spot, and he's won a free kick against Steins. And interestingly, it was Dennis Rich who gave the free kick to full forward. Gasper, Rocker late, and Gasper, well done, took the mark. That'll give him a bit of confidence. He was badly beaten in the opening turn. Here's Nettlebeck.
Kicks the ball out wide. Opts is his target. Buckley. He's been great.
That was a sensational mark, Kevin.
2 former Port Adelaide players. Buckley and McGarry medalist, pumps the ball into 50. Why not? Because here he is, Big Sav, couldn't take it. Watson at the back of the pack. Was he driven into the ground? No free. Leon Chelly over the top. Look at Watson, out staring the umpire. Us, umpire Prince. What about that?
I think he had every right to ask him what about that one too.
Just 20 metres out from the Pies goal. Rocker in the ruck. Stephen Phoebe. Quick hands to Smith. Always gives 100%. Love it. Picking up touches as well. The kick's a poor one. It's an absolute shocker. McDonald. Back to Russell. This might hurt Melbourne. Big bomb once more. Here he comes. Rocker with strength underneath the ball. Try to push Gaspar out. Leon Chally, cool as a cucumber. Gives it across to Tingay. Goes short. Finds Matt Phoebe. Half-back flank. Member side. Kicks down, looking for Ingerson. Shawbull has been in the action tonight. Burns has got pace. Gets support from Russell. Russell feigns the hand pass, comes away. Now he can feed it off to Shawbull. Long raking hand pass across here to Crow has been very good. Once more, they just keep bombing it down. They've got the high flyers. Watson couldn't take it. Was he held on to? Thrown to the ground once more. Armat's there. It's all tied up. 40 metres out from Collingwood's goal.
Stephen Phoebe picking himself up. Collingwood interchange bench. They lead by 14 points. Moncourt's got a clear go at it, belted it forward. Steins didn't take the knock. Back to Taylor, to Rocker. Left foot round the body, pretty good. Have a look at this. A fourth. It's his night. I think when you kick them like that, Tim, you're in for something this evening. And Collingwood go to 7 goals, 1 to 3-5.
He has a night out, doesn't he? Every now and then this bloke has a night out and he looks unstoppable. And great play then by Watson to come charging out, meet the ball just to create another crumb and another opportunity for Collingwood to score. But that really was terrific play by Rocker to get back onto his left foot, his non-preferred side, and swing the ball around for a major.
A couple of games last year, he looked awesome before he hurt his shoulder. Looks great in 97. Free kick goes to the Pies. Buckley. This is his 7th kick. He's had 2 marks and 2 handballs, directing traffic. Kicks long once more. Going for distance. Every time they get the ball, they want to get it inside 50. They've got the winners down there. McDonald. They've done that well tonight. Slapped the ball out to teammate Shawbull. Great smother by Smith. Ricochets back to Crow. The midfielders winning plenty of possessions. The kick's a poor one. Clarkson couldn't take it on the half volley. Curran has also been good. Midfield up towards Watson. He's got it this time. Round the corner. It's a high ball running with a flight. Is Brown. He's got it. Well, it's great to see him in such good form. I agree with you, Tim. Last year, you could be forgiven for thinking that maybe he was at the end of his reign as a really top league player.
I think what's exciting about this Collingwood side, perhaps they play the most exciting brand of football in the competition at the moment, is that when they are on song and they've got control of the ball, they all run forward and they create enormous opportunities for each other. They're like a wave of footballers going forward, like a rugby half-back line, and they just get there in numbers and they run and they create.
So Brown to Curran, who's already kicked 1 goal, former Richmond under-19 player. He's drilled it. Well, he's kicked 2 goals, Chrissy Curran.
And this is good play by Brown. Brown just running Charles down the ground, getting him away from the forward line, getting numbers at the ball. And Melbourne yet to take the ball into their forward line in this 2nd quarter.
Danger signs for Melbourne now, 3-5 to 8-1. They need to get the next goal. Clarkson out of the centre, diving effort by Ops was good. They've got to set up something here, the Demons. Collingwood on a roll. Neats worked underneath it by Prestigiacomo. Well done, Brown. He's playing some inspired football. Prestigiacomo to Russell. Russell steadies and straightens and then kicks to centre wing to Taylor. Good effort at the back, though, by Smith. Viney reading it off hands. 1 bounce. Then delivers beautifully to Neats, who got away from Prestigiacomo. Now, this is a very hard kick. He'd be the only player in the Melbourne side you'd give any chance to from here, I'd think, with Lyon out of the game tonight. He's going to kick from 50 on a very hard angle. Rocker would kick it tonight, the sort of form he's in. Barnett on the ground for Collingwood. Ahmad off. Now, Neats will take an exceptional kick. 48 metres out. Not bad. He likes it. Very good. That is outstanding from there. It's a shootout. Neats and Rocker, isn't it? It's 4-5 to 8-1.
Exciting stuff here. And a good kick by Todd Viney and Preston Giacomo on that occasion. And he is a young player. It's only his second season of AFL football. He was caught dreaming. He was guarding the corridor, and his direct opponent, David Neitz, had slipped away. Even though he went wide, and perhaps he wasn't expecting that, that's exactly where Todd Viney went with the ball.
The OK Corral revisited. The shootout, as Bruce says. Rocker has kicked 4. Neitz has kicked 3. Steins. It's been a start. It's been great in the ruck. Quick kick down towards the half-forward line. Here's a chance for Ops. Melbourne, they just keep on coming. Ops, the long bomb. Point. Tremendous pressure in this game. Played in great spirit. Two great traditional rivals. See Taylor on the interchange bench taking a spell. Burns to bring the ball back.
Ahmed back on, Kevin.
8-1-49 Collingwood. 4-6-30 Melbourne. Kick is short. Brown. Well, apart from Rocker, he's the best player on the ground. Curran kicks the ball back. Rocker! Anthony Rocker up high. Couldn't take it. Nettlebeck pops the ball out. It's coming back. Lovett is off and running, but the ball has to come back. He's an exciting player. Looks like Sean Smith's hurt himself. Broke his arm last year. This looks like a knuckle. Here's the leap. That's where Sean Smith hurt his hand. He is so tough. And the blood rule there with Anthony Rocker.
And this will really play into Collingwood's hands now. They get plenty of time to send as many players back as they possibly can.
Well, he took the mark of the century against Brisbane. And playing with North Melbourne, he ruptured his liver. Nearly cost him his life. Broke his arm last year. Looks like he's got a problem with that hand. Nettlebeck from centre half back. He's got Lovett loose. Kicks down towards the half-forward line. Ingerson has got Shawbull to beat. Williams wants to set it up to Burns. Can't take it. Great shepherding by Krasiska. They've been impressive tonight in that area. Back to Russell. Never stops running. The kicks are poor under Lovett. The turnover. Lovett. Back to Neitz. Ingerson backing back. Showed courage. Farmer, the wizard, on the boundary line. More tricks than David Copperfield. Can he get around? Caught. Into the square, Williams.
From fullback, out wide to Patterson. Exciting stuff, and the crowd are right into it. Patterson to centre wing. Taylor the target. Smith with him, courageous as always. Well, that's hurt him. He's belted that out of play. Look at him, writhing in pain. Oh,
He's tough. He is tough, Smith. He's as hard as 6-month-old licorice, he is.
40 to 39. 49 to 30. I'm just thinking about that licorice. Quick kick by Tingay. He's had a quiet start out on the fall. Came into the match with a bit of a worry over his ribs where he copped the knock last week. We had a withdrawal with Gary Lyon, a calf injury, and Richard Osborne didn't come up. He was hurt last week too. Patterson, Buckley wanting it. Patterson decides to go more direct to centre half forward. Courageous in the front there by Tingay. Todd Viney just put Gasper under some pressure, but he kept his cool and brought it out of play.
Viney's gone on to the dangerous Buckley too.
Dipper, what about Sean Smith? You're a bit closer than we are.
Yes, I just spoke to the doctor. He had his hand stood on, and on top of his hand, it's all bruised just from the stop marks. But as you said, he's a very tough customer, that boy.
Steins and Moncourse, thanks, Dip. Williams, and again, it's going to be a bounce. Slower start for Williams tonight. He's starting to gather a few touches.
He was well held early by Lovett. In fact, in this quarter, he's broken free a couple of times, but he's a goal kicker, and Lovett, to this stage, is winning the battle.
Monkhurst versus Steins. Lovett Hands and knees once more. Liam Chally. Smothering's been great tonight. Both sides. Great in the clinches. Jimmy Steins. To Lovett. They've worked hard. Farmer's his target. Burns pushes to the front position. Farmer at ground level. This is where he's got class. Caught. Great tackle by Burns. Collingwood fans wanted a free kick. They'll get a boundary throw in.
What about Farmer's recovery? He was down. As we see Ahmad leave the field and Rocca is back on the field.
So Melbourne's half-forward line. Ingerson pushing and shoving to Clarkson. He's kicked the goal. Deviney, well done. Took it well. Kicks the ball back 25 metres out from goals. Burns legged. No free kick. Taken by Lovett. Quick snap. 1 point.
Kicked one last week, as you said, Kevin, and turned into two late in the game. And the one he kicked last week was from the pocket. It was a hard goal, and tonight he's had two snaps for two behind. So accuracy important here. Collingwood less shots, but they've got a very handy break. Suddenly goals a little bit harder to get, haven't they? There was an avalanche early, but there's been a tightening in the last few minutes. Buckley beautiful to Brown. Inboard to Russell. Well taken by Crow on the bootstraps as he kicks the ball to centre half forward. Front spot Nettlebeck. Must be disconcerting that Anthony Rocca's got such a lead. Well played Bartlett. Curran beautifully done. Krasiska gives it off. Anthony Rocca brought down as he kicks to full forward. They've got numbers. Well, they had them, but the ball was belted away to Woden. And now Melbourne can really rebound. Tingay should be away. Can Bartlett be shepherded out of it? Well played, Smith. Brilliantly done. Gives Tingay a chance and he takes his man on. It's exciting stuff. Tingay's floater lets everybody down. What an anticlimax. As Shawbull takes the mark. And Shawbull redirects Buckley and Monkhorst. The big monkey will go out wide, he does, to Russell. Back into Buckley. Buckley normally delivers. Either foot, it doesn't matter, look at that. 50 metres to Curran. Curran to run with the footy. Watson leads him. Smothered courageously off the boot. Well played Curran. Pushes forward. Taken by McDonald. 60 metres out. Kicks to Rocca. Got him. Gee, the Tingay delivery was the bad one, wasn't it?
Yes, because what it enabled Collingwood to do was to build up all their players on the other side of the ground. They switched play and they were away. But on that occasion, and I watched Gasper very closely, he was just playing too far off Rocca's body. He's got to be there feeling him. He's got to be able to know which direction Rocca is going to go. And he can only do that if he's leaning against him.
He's kicked 4 goals tonight without a miss. He's kicked magnificently tonight. He has not looked like missing. This one from about 45 metres out. Good shot of the angle. And he has missed. Had a good view there. So maybe that is a good sign for Melbourne, because he must have felt going into that kick he could do no wrong tonight. And then all of a sudden you have a second thought. 4-7 to 8-2. 50 to 31. Melbourne still well and truly in this game. Dipper, what about Stephen Phoebe?
Well, Stephen Phoebe's still on the ground, Bruce. The club doctor's been at about 2 or 3 times and looks like he'll be coming off. It looks like a hamstring injury at this stage, Bruce.
Gaspar brings the ball back into play. Monkhorst went the punch at ground level. Clarkson pounced on it. Kick doesn't travel much distance. Tingay has the ball punched away. Boundary throw in. 8-2-50 Collingwood.
Clarkson off, Pyman on.
31. So Pyman on, Tim. Number 16 goes straight away into the action. Intimidating. Monkhorst, wild fresh air shot. Steins taken to the ground. Matthew Phoebe did well. Pyman, his first touch, kicks back towards the edge of the centre square. Buckley overruns the ball. Bang! Crashed into by Ops. Going down like 9 pins. It's like a pinball machine out there. Buckley hits the ground once more. Look at great play by Ops. Goes short. With sensational ball handling. Trying to push the ball on in front was Ingerson. Shawbull gets around his man. Some fancy footwork there. In comes the big monkey. Loses it. Taken by Lovett. Centre wing. Back towards Ingerson. That's his target. He's got 2 to beat. And the big punch is Burns. This game's played at a tremendous pace. Great atmosphere. Clarkson on the interchange bench. Gaspar there as well. And was that Uze?
Sorry, KB. Melbourne just lacking that player across centre half forward to take a mark at the moment.
Ingerson beaten by Shawbull. Buckley tried to paddle the ball long. Viney crashes back into Buckley because he caught one high. It was accidental. Curran, who's been very good. Richardson's caught. They want a free kick. They won't get it. Listen to the crowd, the atmosphere. Electric here at the MCG.
It's a big crowd too. It really has built up from the start of the game. Change here. Phoebe coming off as Dipper told us. And Uze coming on. Matt about to come back on. 19 points the margin. Be well and truly 50,000 here now. Maybe a few more. Steins and Richardson. And those goals are tough to get in the second quarter. Collingwood led 6-3 at quarter time. It's 8-4 now, deep into the second term.
And a bit of cat and mouse happening here from the coaching box. And that now being picked up by Smith. They'll try and expose Smith with the pace.
Steins and Richardson, bad bounce. Well, that's bad luck. I mean, advantage going to Collingwood. Come here. That free kick was created by a bad bounce and put the Melbourne player in a terrible position. We saw a boundary throw in recalled last week. You wonder why they can't recall some of those awful bounces and at least make it 50-50. The kick to half forward. Free kick to Collingwood, hanging on. He can kick this rocker too. He can kick them from anywhere around 50. This is about the Neats angle, wasn't it, from the other end? If you kick the last one, you'd back him from here. But the fact that he missed an easier one. He's going to kick from 52 metres.
Oh.
Have a look at that. He has drilled it. Tim, you would not get a better shot for goal. Have a look at Barmy.
He can't believe it.
9-2 to 4-7. That's forgetting snaps and things like that, but from a set shot, that's as good as you'll ever see.
You're right, you won't see better than that. I'd be interested to have a look at this free kick again. I didn't think there was a lot in that free kick. I've seen a lot worse than that applied by a backman on a forward, and Sav Rocker probably just a little bit lucky to get that free kick on that occasion.
When you're hot, but no free kick to Sav Rocker. Very lucky goal to Collingwood. 9-2-56. Same scoring shots as Melbourne. 4-7-31. Patterson. Here come the Pies once more. Back to 50. Anthony Rocker leads Nettlebeck. Paddles the ball long in front. Overruns it. Obst. It's been good in the clinches as well. Paddle the ball back. Nettlebeck to Lovett. Dispossessed. Williams. Collingwood on the rebound. Got a free kick. It's going to Melbourne. So Glenn Lovett. 8th possession. 113 games. One of the veterans now of Melbourne to Woden. Just playing his second game of league football. Burns showed courage, kept his eyes on the ball. Heads towards the boundary line with pace, takes it over.
It's a good player, Burns, the way he leaves his man early. He makes a very quick decision in his own mind about where he wants to position himself, and he just cuts off passes and cuts off space.
Port Adelaide was keen to get him. Collingwood had to open the checkbook to keep him. Hyman caught, all tied up. 55 metres out from Melbourne's goal. Neil Baum, a little bit anguished at the moment. Still can't believe that last free kick to Sav Rocker. 56 plays 31. Ingerson just charged at the ball. McDonald flipped it out to Russell, the playmaker, to Buckley. They've got the runners across half-back. Bartlett overruns the ball. Richardson off the interchange bench. Great vision. Bartlett from Curran. Inside 50. Here's the man himself. No free kick this time. Robbie Armat pounces on it. Bundled over the line. Good play by Gaspar. Williams has done well. He's kept it in. No, he hasn't. They've got a boundary throw in.
So fast, isn't it, this game? One
Well,
into
they're
the
an
other.
exciting side, Collingwood, when they get the ball moving and rolling like they are at the moment.
Got a good lead. Close to half-time now. Richardson, well done. Williams. Woden taken off him. Good handball by Leon Shelley under pressure. Say good handball. Collingwood able to cut it off. Buckley. Barnett to Patterson. Delivers. Neat kick. Well done. Waited it. Rocker couldn't hold it. It's 50 metres out. Turns onto the left. Bouncing ball. Armat. Beautifully done. Handball outstanding to Watson. just couldn't get to Richardson off the ground. Another no behind.
I don't think half-time will come quickly enough for Melbourne.
No, it could get away from them quickly here, couldn't it? 4-7-9-3. 5 minutes or so remaining as Gasper kicks the ball in.
26 points. Collingwood lead by right on 50. It was a terrific pickup last year. The good form continues. A former Hawk took the most marks last year for Collingwood. That was a surprise. Took 7 last week as well. So he'll be kicking from just outside of 50. He's gone short. He'll find Buckley. Now we know he's a great kick, Tim.
That was interesting the way the Collingwood forwards lined up then, KB. They're almost in a line. Buckley was on the end of the line. He's run out from behind everybody and caught the Melbourne defenders unawares.
Twice he's been the Pies' best and fairest winner. Vice captain this year along with Krasiska. He's pushed it right. There's no Sav Rocker. That'll be a slap on the wrist for bringing up a point for Collingwood. 9-3-57. 4-7-31 Melbourne.
58-31. Gasper to bring it in. The D's need a goal or two before the long break. They beat North Melbourne in the opening round in wet conditions. Collingwood came here and kicked 26 goals on the Saturday. Liancelli short. It's impressive last week. They only gave up 7 goals last week, the Melbourne defence. Collingwood's got 9 so far. Williams brilliantly done. Bullet like to Watson. Watson comes across. Rocker again. Too easy. Somebody's probably going to have to get back and help Gaspar to at least block the space, because Rocker had a whole lot of ground in front of him there.
The problem at the moment is the pace of Collingwood is dragging them all over their own back line.
It's kicked 5 goals, 1 Rocker. 49 metres out. Great shot from the angle. And have a look, another one. 6 to half-time. Outstanding goal-kicking performance by the big full forward. And Collingwood, this is now a very impressive effort up until half-time. Williams getting touches, that's dangerous, and Watson chipping in again.
Yes, and then just too much space there for Sav Rocker, and really Gaspar not playing closely enough again on that occasion. He has to be body on body, but the weight of numbers just proving too much for him at the moment.
6 goals to Rocker, 3 in the first quarter, 3 now in the second quarter. No knockout blow yet, but maybe Melbourne taking a standing 8 count. Kicked off the ground. Slapped forward by Buckley. Patterson tries to run on the ball. Woden forces the ball forward, but Crow, he's been magnificent. Back to Buckley. They've got runners everywhere. Full of confidence, Collingwood. And he finds Christy Giacomo. Centre wing. Just kicks a high ball because they've got the winners down there. Here comes Rocker once more. What a mark by Big Anthony. Well, if there's been any doubt about his talent, forget it. The kid's an enormous talent. He showed it in patches with Sydney, but I think he's coming of age. Look at that for a grab.
Well, he went so early.
Gee, if he'd had a back to hang on to, it might have rivaled Sean Smith. Just couldn't hang on to anything. He had fresh air around him.
The Rocker brothers. Sounds like a vaudeville act. Sean Smith on screen.
Might be funeral director. Sorry, KB, from Melbourne's point of view.
Sav's kicked 6. Anthony's kicked 1. From right on 50. Big thumping kick. He's kicked it. Oh, he just pushed it right. It's a goal.
Sorry to butt into, but you just feel like this is the beginning of something special as far as the Rockers tonight. It's the beginning of a new age for the Collingwood Footy Club in a way with these 2 players.
Well, it is, Bruce, but I guess you've got to consider that Melbourne really don't have those recognised key defenders, do they? And that's what's letting them down at the moment. But this player is an excitement machine. And not only, it's times when he hasn't got the ball, but he's also been impressive because he's just shifted the packs and he's created a lovely crumb for the forwards.
8 goals between the Rockers. Up to half-time, 11-4 to 4-7. Viney, someone's got to stand tall for Melbourne in a hurry. Charles, not many opportunities. Brown into his back, well played Charles. Glenn Lovett, cut off brilliantly by Presta Giacomo. It's probably ambitious by Lovett. Good effort by Richardson to contest. Has Williams. Williams normally kicks these. He's on the left. He's got a handball over to Bartlett. Johnny Bartlett from 40. He's hooked and missed. That was not part of the script. It's 11-5 to 4-7. But Collingwood is really hurting Melbourne every time there's a turnover on Melbourne's half-forward line. The Woods are back in a hurry. Just again a poor option from Melbourne at half-forward.
Yes, the pace of Collingwood.
40 points the margin. Smith gets it short from Gasper. I think you said, Tim, 5 minutes ago they wanted half-time in a hurry. It didn't come quickly enough, but they sure want it now. Nettlebeck, Viney and also Burns out of play off the fall on Burns, so it's going to be a Melbourne kick from half-back.
Just over a minute of action left in this second quarter. Viney from half-back. Neats trying to do an Anthony Rocker.
He's come out to centre-half forward now, just trying to get a little bit of the ball. Melbourne have struggled to take the ball forward.
He's kicked 3 Neats, 2 in the first quarter, 1 in this second quarter. There's Smith. Maybe you might see him go up forward. That's a poor handball. The turnover. Look at big Rocker. Sav on hands and knees gets it back to Williams. Beautiful football by Collingwood. Another goal. An unselfish play by Watson. Well, this is as good as we've seen for a long time, Tim.
Well, Melbourne really looking ragged now, though. As I said about 5 minutes ago, you sensed that Collingwood were really going to burst and break this game apart. And that's exactly what they've done the last 5 or 6 minutes. And the Melbourne players are really starting to look elsewhere. And it's going to be a hell of a job at half-time to regroup and to try and get some confidence back and some cohesion back in their play.
Absolutely outstanding play for the second time this season in the 2 weeks. They've kicked 12 goals before half-time, Collingwood. They had 12 goals against Port Adelaide. The kick to half-forward. I reckon there might be a lot of Port Power fans back home saying we're not as bad as everyone said we were. Look what they're doing to Melbourne. 12 to 4. Watson trying to get forward. Smith trying to get a kick away. Could Collingwood get another? They've got the right bloke. Williams are behind. To kick 12 goals last week before half-time and do it again. 26 all total last week, and Collingwood is off to an outstanding start in 97. Leoncelli in the back pocket. Wants Viney. Burns chips in. It's off Ingerson. He gets a second crack and takes the mark as the siren sounds for half-time. Shawball just having a chat. 78 to 31. 47-point margin. What about you, Kevin? Your thoughts on where Melbourne might be able to make some inroads?
Well, it's going to be very tough because they don't appear to have the key position players in defence to look after the 2 Rocker brothers. And it's a pretty exciting thing in football when you've got an outstanding forward like Severio Rocker, who's big and strong and leads out and take big marks. And his brother Anthony tonight has just been terrific as well. I think you mentioned earlier in the call, Bruce, he did a lot of little deft things. He knocked the ball out. He handballed the teammates running past and punched the ball to the ground. Did some very clever things that resulted in goals. The fact that he's kicked a couple of goals is terrific for him, and he took that great mark as well. But also around midfield, Curran's been very, very good. Williams was terrific there towards the end of the second quarter, and Gavin Brown has been a very good player since the opening bounce.
And Melbourne have made the switch. They've sent Ingerson down back, and they've sent Nettlebeck forward.
4-7 to 12-6, the start of the second half. Friday night football to the Melbourne Cricket Ground. Collingwood on fire in the opening hour of football. Steins won the tap. Push forward by Curran has been good to Jason Taylor, who came into the match for Richard Osborne tonight. Left foot there by Crow. Outstanding first half. Patterson, who has been unable to get amongst the goal kickers. Normally very reliable, but has been dominated by Rocker. Glenn Lovett. They've been forced back a lot tonight. There's Ingerson, as Tim mentioned a moment ago, in a key defence position now. Farmer to Uze on the ground, back to Farmer. Melbourne having really a lot of trouble. Phoebe inside, Leoncelli under pressure, so nothing coming out of a lot of possessions. Krasiska, Shaw ball, too easy that time, much too easy, ran past 2 Melbourne players. They need to have some fire and spirit here. Viney, good kick to half forward. Nettlebeck has gone forward, belted away by Crow. Easy pickings for Russell. Russell, good kick to Jason Taylor. Should move it on quickly, he does. Watson leads for him. Takes it half volley, took it well, back to Taylor. Vacant goal square, neat kick, well played. Rocker had to stand his ground. It just took a while to get there, and it was cut off by Ingerson. And Melbourne able to bring it back to half-back. Clarkson kept his eye on, hot handball. Free kick to the D's. Going to come back to Uze.
Started on the interchange bench, half-back flank, Buckley on screen. You can see there, caught high, no doubt about that. Buckley's had 13 possessions. Uze up towards the half-forward flank, coming out his short ball. It's been really good, just playing his 27th game tonight. Took a lot of responsibility last year when Collingwood had a lot of injuries. He's doing it well across to McDonald. They've been fantastic across that half-back line. Here's one of the runners. Russell kicks back. Burns under a lot of pressure here. Farmer didn't mark it, recovered well, then feeds the ball out towards Obst. He's got a loose player. It's Tingate. Doesn't take it. Been the story of Melbourne. Gets the ball back to Uze. So they've gone backwards. Now it's a tumble kick. Lost opportunity and marked by Krasiska.
It just puts you under pressure, doesn't it, when you had a missed kick? The ball didn't reach Tingay.
They had all the momentum. Great mark by Ops. Can he turn it back over? Great play. Go around there was Lovett. Back to Ops. This is an important kick. It's missed. Yes, working hard now to actually get results, Melbourne.
Well, all the handballs from Collingwood are constructive. And it's just the opposite with Melbourne. They're really just handballing to get rid of the ball. And they're putting their teammates under pressure.
Burns keeps it low, got through Krasiska. Farmer getting his hands on the footy a bit at the start of the second half. Russell tried to cut Brett Lovett off. Reasonably effective. McDonald had it for a while. Play on called in the pocket. Burns ridden into the ground. And Farmer there, and it's going to be a bounce.
Great play then by Farmer. Get back on the ball, put pressure on the Collingwood defence.
Looks like he's having a bit of a free run too, Tim. Farmer up the ground a bit.
They have to do something. They've got to try and get some pace in the midfield.
Neats, Chauvel over the top. Well done to Russell. Little kick around. They get it past 50. Well played. Curran had a beautiful feel for McDonald to Buckley. Brilliant set up by Collingwood. Away Buckley. He'll handball over the top. No, just chip past. That's just as good. Armat running on now at 50. Scorching away. Gets to 45. Goes towards goal and hits the post. It was a wobbly old kick, but it was very close in the end. He's very quick, isn't he? He charged away. 4-8 to 12-7. Pyman, who hasn't had much of a run. Remember, Melbourne basically down to 19, we think. Hopgood out with a hip and Stephen Phoebe with a hamstring. Woden's kick good. Gets to Uze at half-back, centre wing.
So Uze keen to get the ball moving quickly to Lovett. That's a good mark. Went with the flight of the ball. Half-forward flank. Members side. They trail 32 to 79. Lovett kicks the ball up. Neats. Now he'll get 50. Now the umpire from down the ground is indicating it was touched off the boot. So it looked like a 50-metre penalty. Now they're going to get a ball up. So more anguish for Melbourne. Look at the Demon supporters. Rolling up the voice boxes. A bounce. Just inside of 50. Shawball. Christy Giacomo. To Charles. Struggled a bit tonight. High ball. Christy Giacomo's got it. So Farmer and Charles kicked 6 goals between them last week. They've really struggled tonight. Buckley trying to set it up. Kicks long. It's a poor kick. Marked by Matthew Phoebe.
Short. Still a long way from goal, Nettlebeck. His colours lowered in the first half in defence. Switch has been made with Ingerson. Centering kick to fall forward. Needs at some hope. He's got 3 against him though. So Melbourne should have numbers on the ground. But Collingwood are going to bring it away. Armat's got it from Curran. Armat to half forward. Watson attacks it strongly. Anthony Rocker quickly to full forward, bouncing ball over the top. Gasper and Rocker. Gasper may concede here. Oh, he's under pressure. Didn't play it well. Patterson's a sharpshooter. May make him pay. Left foot snap. It's close. He likes it. Well, Damien Gasper, you're going to be disappointed. 13-7 to 4-8.
Well, this game is also a lot about making the correct mental decisions here. On this occasion, Gasper, he really should have just taken the ball through from behind. There's just too much pressure around him. As it was, he went for the backman's best friend, the boundary line.
He got pinged last week, remember, for running the ball out of place. So he probably remembered that.
Gasper on screen. You're right, Bruce. Last week he was pinged for deliberately putting the ball over the line out of bounds. Here's Viney trying to crash his way through. Williams, quick kick out of the centre square. Here come the Pies once more. Rocker's done that well tonight. Across to Taylor. Burns inside 50. Out of bounds on the full. Scotty Burns on screen. We see Bartlett there, along with Jason Weil and young Richardson. Well, he's playing his 50th game tonight. His father, Wayne Richardson, one of the all-time greats at Collingwood. Melbourne under a lot of pressure. The big fist away from Monkhurst, taken by Clarkson. Kicked the opening goal for Melbourne. Leeds has kicked their other three. They lack winners on the forward line. Collingwood have got winners all over the ground. It's all tied up on the centre wing.
And I think sorry, KB, I think when Tony Shaw named Jason Wild on the interchange bench, it was an insurance policy. I think he might have been a little bit concerned about Charles and also Farmer, but he hasn't needed to take Wild off the bench tonight. Those two players have been very well covered.
Monkhurst this time thumps the ball forward. Smith has tried hard across half-back, heads towards the boundary line. Lovett pushes the ball out in front. Look at the numbers of Collingwood. Buckley, always a runner, out of defence. Can he set it up? Great kick, Rocker. He's a long way out. There's Neil Baum, can't believe it. Now he'll be kicking from about 45. He's got the lead on, loose player. Slacked by Melbourne. Taylor came to the side and replaced Richard Osborne. He's been a pretty handy player. They've had the two-pronged attack with the Rocker brothers, but he's been good, Taylor. Tight angle. Minor score.
Neil Baum in his fifth season here. His only winning season at Melbourne was in 1994. They finished fourth and won 14 out of their 25 matches. Gasper's short. Oh, danger. Flirting with problems here, and Lovett runs into Viney, and he gets caught. It's not happening for Melbourne. Well done, Matthew Phoebe, but floats it up into the centre. Collingwood with numbers. Burns kept his eye on it. Farmer tackled him, didn't have control. Burns play on, good tackle, Viney, but high in the end. Initially, I think the tackle was all right, and then he went over the shoulder on Burns. He's very single-minded, Burns, isn't he? He does not lose concentration for one moment. Eyes on the footy, doesn't seem to get worried about it. And I thought the first tackle was all right, and then he was over the top. Burns short to Monkhurst from 49 metres, leans back. It's another one. Too easy now. It is your worst nightmare come true if you're a Melbourne supporter right now.
And smart play then by Monkhurst, because Jimmy Stynes went down to cover the hole and the space in front of Sav Rocker, which he probably would have liked to have led into, and Monkey thinking, well, I'm going to go over here and I'm going to force him out. Stynes wouldn't go with him, and then Monkey taking control of the ball, and a very good kick.
We're seeing a good side tonight. Neil Baum keeps shaking the head. Powerful side, and a quick side in Collingwood. Monkhurst, the goal under his belt. Now starting to get touches at centre square. Tingay kicks a long bomb down to 50. Needs is their only chance back there. He's got two to beat. Ground level, Nettlebeck. Quick snap. He's kicked a goal. Gets the boost from the Collingwood fans.
once again, Shawbull, he really is a very good young player, isn't he? Getting back there to help out Prestige Giacomo. On that occasion, Nettlebeck, who was Shawbull's direct opponent, being the crummer, and a smart snap on his left foot. And Melbourne, to have any chance in this game, are really going to have to string 4 or 5 goals together quickly here in the third quarter. But you just can't see it happening at this stage.
Collingwood by 54 points. Steins. Thumped forward that time by Monkhurst. Farmer can't take it. Burns just volleyballs it down to Patterson out of the centre square. This is dangerous once more for Melbourne. In front was Rocker. Took a ripper of a mark tonight. Ingerson started at centre half forward, now into defence. Lovett kicks the ball back towards the centre wing. Ooh, Farmer goes down. It's a high tackle. Clarkson wants it. So Jeff Farmer will go very, very short. Clarkson, chip kick. Finds Phoebe. Matthew Phoebe down towards the 50. Shawbull has been very good in defence. Collingwood have just had the free players, the runners. There's one of them in Russell. Educated kick, keeps the ball in. Farmer traps it. Great tackle by Buckley. Oh, then cops one high. Should have got a free kick. Remonstrates to the umpire. Oh.
So the boundary throw in that goal for Melbourne. Monkhorst's free kick. The goal for Melbourne was their first in over 30 minutes of footy. Their previous goal, their fourth, was at the 7.5-minute mark of the second quarter. Monkhorst to centre half forward. Rocker front spot. Got it. Good hands, Anthony. He can kick the distance. He proved that in the second quarter. He's going to kick from about 54. 9 goals the margin. Very deliberate style. Doesn't look to put a whole lot into it, but he times it so well. Normally doesn't kick the ball quite as high as his brother Severio, but kicks it just about as long. Hooked it. No worries with the distance, but a bad hook out on the full. So a little blot against a pretty good book tonight for the Rocker brothers. Matthew Phoebe, it's 5-8 to 14-8. Sean Smith. Core just gets his kick in. Collingwood so quick in every department tonight. Tingay, a couple of touches in the third quarter, encouraging after a quiet first half. It's had little impact on the game. Kicks the ball high, hoping for Nettlebeck. Krasiska kept his eye on it, gets a free kick. He deserved it. Running back, it was a hard ball always, and he took the mark. It's one of 4 Collingwood players who played in that 1990 premiership team out there tonight. Crow at centre wing.
Crow goes towards the edge of the centre square. Buckley over the top of the ball. Viney's there as well. They drive him into the ground. It's a ball up on the edge of the centre square. 16 possessions to Nathan Buckley, 3 marks. He's had 3 tackles as well. Looks set for a great season. Monkhurst on the... That's Taylor, in fact, taking a drink. Clarkson around the corner. Burns. He's got that mad stare, no doubt about that. Second in the best and fairest last year. Can really play. Armat, who's quick. Kicks wide. Great vision to Shawbull. One of the most promising young players in the competition. Gives it back to Russell. Loves to link it up. Kicks long. Rocker's got it. Great play, Collingwood. Rocker opens up the face of goal and bangs it through. 7 goals to Severio Rocker.
Well, Collingwood hasn't been afraid to switch play tonight. On every opportunity, they've taken the ball from one side of the ground to the other side of the ground to open up the space, and then they've run. They've been prepared to run in waves. And once again, Gasper just playing too far offset Rocker. There's too much ball going into the Collingwood forward line anyway.
Back to a 10-goal margin. Rocker's got 7. 15-8 to 5-8. No stopping the Magpies tonight. Monkhorst now getting over Steins. McDonald pushing the ball forward. to half forward. Buckley, well done. Unable to take it there, Curran. Woden, good distance on the leg there. Brown and Charles, great mark, Charles. Brown had a fantastic first half, quiet start of the second, but he's got a lot of mates doing the work for him. Neats, oh, good effort. It's paid. That's better. Charles ripping it away from Brown, and then Neats positively taking the mark. It's been good, Neats, when you think that he had one mark where he couldn't take a shot for goal and had to come off the ground. I think he was very unlucky with the Glenn Lovett incident earlier where the ball was touched off the boot and he took a good mark within kicking distance. He's kicked 3, and with some luck could have had maybe 5 so far. So his effort's been very good.
Very few opportunities in the second quarter, Bruce.
Wild coming on for the first time tonight for Collingwood. They're making a double change. Neats has pushed it badly. Well, he's disappointed with that. They really needed that. So the big man unhappy. 15-8 to 5-9. Richardson came on for Moncourse there, and Wild came on for Curran, and it's 39 to 98.
Tough night at the office there for Neil Baum. Brown, who's been very good since the start of play, he was off. Rebound. Neats. Can't buy a goal, Melbourne. So Brown disappointed with his efforts there, but he has been very good. Last year it looked like maybe Gavin Brown was headed for the scrap heap, but certainly on tonight's performance he's been good. 10 possessions, 5 marks. Has had Charles to mind. Burns to bring the ball back. Now he's been told you better kick it, so he kicks it wide. It's a poor one. It's all Melbourne. Uze started on the interchange bench. Kicks backwards. Nettlebeck needs a kind bounce. Buckley went in hard. Richardson off the interchange bench is fresh. Kicked off the ground by Clarkson. The Wizard. Can he set it up? Hard to beat as Burns. Ball up on the half-forward line. 35 metres out from the Demons' goal. Glenn Lovett has been one of their best. 18 possessions. He's battled hard. He's had a tough midfield to counter. Burns, taken by Farmer, taken over the line. 65 possessions to Russell, Curran, Buckley and Williams. They've had plenty of the ball, but I think, Tim, it's the way they've carried the ball that's been important.
The pace has just chopped Melbourne up tonight.
Just carrying the ball between the lines, which means you can get it down quickly into the forward line. Schauble just thumps the ball back over the line.
Just a reminder that Talking Footy for Melbourne viewers, 8:30 on Monday night. Phil Carman, one of our special guests, so 8:30 Monday night, a special time for Talking Footy. Boundary throw in. Schauble at the back. It's been terrific. Brett Lovett had it taken off him. Krasiska. And again, it's going to be a bounce. $15 goals to 5, the score, 98 to 40. Dominating performance by Collingwood. Schauble, Nettlebeck. Farmer and Burns. Burns is playing the match, isn't he? To Buckley. Quick kick. Free kick to Collingwood. Probably the advantage given. Brown. His 9th handball was a good one. To Richardson. Lopes away. Kicks it to Watson. Good kick. They went through his fingers. Got a sharp no free kick. Play on call. Phoebe in trouble. Leoncelli's quick kick. Now Melbourne have got numbers. Steins, who's been quiet after being excellent in the first quarter. Oh, that's a terrible kick, Jimmy. It's going to be disappointed. Farman's got Schauble, but Schauble able to get his kick away to Richardson, and symbolically that's been the difference between the two teams tonight. Richardson getting some length there to fall forward. Anthony Rocker tries a one-hander. Sav Rocker pays the way. Patterson floats one in and misses. A behind. 15 goals, 9 to 5, 10. The delivery for Melbourne, so often from centre wing, they've made a botch of it, haven't they?
Some terrible kicking.
Matthew Phoebe to bring the ball back. Favours the member side. Jimmy Stein's just taken his 2nd mark for the game. Did start well. The weight of numbers. He's got Monkhurst, Richardson on and off the interchange bench. He finds Uze, half-back flank, getting plenty of instructions. That's a shocking kick. They look rattled, Melbourne. Look at Neil Baum. He can't believe it. And now it opens up for Collingwood. They've got the loose man, Richardson, his third possession. Great smother by Jimmy Steins. Can that lift Melbourne? McDonald, back to Williams. Great tackle by Lovett. They need a lift. Someone's got to stand up and be counted. McDonald for Collingwood, pumps the ball back towards 50. Viney drops a mark, Wild. It's coming to the side late. Armat with quick hands to Rock, who's been fantastic. To Bartlett, back to Watson. He took it well in the half volley. Great hands. Buckley's gone wide. Looking for Sav. It's his first mistake. The race is on. Ingerson versus Rocker. Caught. Melbourne fans have something to cheer about.
Did he gain control of the footy? He never touched it, did he, when it was on the ground? Have a look at this.
But if you're over the ball, you've got to knock it out. The tackling's been ferocious. They pile up. Umpire Prince will bounce centre wing. Crow getting up off the ground.
So that is holding the ball, KB?
For me, he was in possession. Made no attempt to get it out. Steins versus Richardson. Collingwood by 59 points. It's been a big night. Rockers kicked 3 goals in the first quarter. This is Sav, 3 in the second and 1 in this third term. 7 great goals. Neitz with 3, Melbourne's best. They've had no one up forward and they've struggled in defence as well.
Steins front spot. Burns, one of the best on the ground, to centre half forward. Matthew Phoebe. Short to Glenn Lovett. Got to him now. He's got to penetrate here. Could have run a lot further. Kicks it high. Nettlebeck the target. Burns building forward again to Bartlett. High ball, Rocker to the target. Not this time, well done Ingerson. Woden slow. Watson's got him. Collingwood could get another one here. Sean Smith should concede, he does. Just a fumble by Collingwood play centre half forward. And it's a behind. So back to 10 goals the margin. 15-10 to 5-10.
Collingwood's pressure all night has just been extraordinary.
Woden short to Smith. Smith delivers very well to Steins. Just lifted a bit, Jimmy, hasn't he, in the last 5 minutes. Very short to Tingay. Unfortunately, this reminds me so much of the Melbourne side we've seen over the years, this short game.
Just gone back to their old habits.
Obst to Steins, floating it to centre half forward. Charles to Farmer, and Farmer has kicked a goal. Hit the post, sorry. Shaved the inside of the post. Some good play by Charles and Farmer. Clarkson back on. Well, they're getting outclassed, but it's not their night either, is it? It's just one of those nights. 5-11 to 15-10.
Uze on the interchange bench for Clarkson. So Burns last time got a warning from the umpire for taking too long. He's going to get another one. So he kicks it quickly to McDonald. I mean, some good pickups by Collingwood. McDonald's one of them, Crow's another. Brown. It's great to see him back. The skipper, cross half back. Gets around Farmer. Kicks the ball long. Why not? They've got the high flyers down there at the back of the pack. Bartlett's done some nice things off the interchange bench. He was held. Sav's off. He's ignored him. He's gone short, and he finds Crow. Loose men everywhere. Crow elects to ignore it, and from just inside 50, he's pushed it left. Well, Melbourne's absolutely rattled at the moment. Players not picking up opponents. It's a bit awkward for them because you're saying before, Timmy, they've changed their style of play from earlier in the game, but they've got no confidence now in just bombing the ball down because Neitz is their only winner, and unfortunately sometimes he's got 2 and 3 to beat as Rocker thumps the ball back. Phoebe taken by Williams. They've done that well intercepting tonight. Collingwood. Wild paddles the ball out. McDonald, quick kick, is right on 50. Patterson, a slips catch. He's off and running. Here's another loose player. Richardson directly in front, gives it away to Bartlett. Bit too fancy that time, the Pies.
Well, they're starting to Leroy's a bit now, Collingwood, and Tony Shaw will probably send the runner out in a minute and tell the boys just to settle down. Don't flirt with form.
Barnett's good in the fact that he gets a quick kick when he comes off the interchange, doesn't he? He's able to get into the game.
He looks lively, doesn't he?
Yeah.
He always looks lively when he comes into the game. Collingwood has just been prepared to run at every opportunity, haven't they? And just keep the ball forward. Just knock the ball forward and get the numbers to the next contest.
They're finding it impossible to penetrate here, Melbourne. Short kicks. Pyman. Phoebe. It's Matthew Phoebe. His brother's injured with a hamstring. Kicks to centre wing. There's Neitz. Went through Charles. Back to Brett Lovett to Obst. Obst on the left. Bad kick, but I don't think he had too many options. Burns couldn't take the slips catch. Well done, Nettlebet. To Farmer. Farmer, very well done to Brett Lovett. Short to Clarkson. Got him. Now they've got a chance to kick a goal.
Well, on that occasion, Bruce, they actually switched the play and gave themselves a bit of space to move the ball down the ground. I think on too many occasions tonight, because they've been under pressure, they've been rattled, they've chosen the wrong option.
Kicked the first goal tonight, Clarkson for Melbourne. He's about 40 metres out. He's pretty happy. Nice kick from the pocket. His first goal was a roving goal. It's 6-11 to 15 goals 12.
And it seems like nothing will put a smile back on Neil Balme's face. And I only spoke to Balme yesterday, and it's amazing, KB. 24 hours is a long time in football, isn't it?
He would have been confident then, Tim.
Well, he was confident. He was at his, and he is such a genial man. And he would have gone into this game with a lot of confidence, given the good performance last week against North Melbourne.
Back to 55 points. Centre bounce free kick to Richardson. So the time should just about sound the siren. So another great quarter by the Pies. 15-12, 102. Melbourne 6-11, 47. It's Severio Rocker. 7 goals. His brother Anthony on screen with 2. They've been the 2 stars for Collingwood up forward, but they've had stars all over the ground.
Yeah, it's a little bit breezy at the moment, Bruce, but the word out of Barmy's huddle then was competitive. He just wants his boys to make sure that they finish this quarter off. Obviously, it's a hard job to kick 10 goals, but interesting about the record, Bruce, you mentioned the 2 boys, the Rocker boys play well, but Gary Lyon's got a little bit of a point in here. Gary's Lyon tip of the week, and it's the importance of good constructive talk is very good for his teammates, because it's like having an extra teammate on the ground, and Melbourne at the moment don't have anything like that at this stage.
That's for sure. Thanks, Dip. And 102 to 47. Let's see if Melbourne can salvage something from the wreck. It is important, isn't it, to take something from a match?
Well, they've just got to try and contain Collingwood in this last quarter. They shut them down to a certain extent, I felt, in that third quarter. They got a little bit closer, and Todd Viney, probably one of the players that brought them back a little bit in that third quarter, because he is a tenacious player, loves it tight, loves it hard and close, as we see on the screen, Patterson there. And he's one of those players that you just have to watch, because he can break free at any moment.
Start of the final quarter. Friday night football at the MCG, 6-11 to 15-12. Collingwood in a winning position. They were at half-time, and there's been nothing in the third quarter to suggest they won't go home with the 4 points. Glenn Lovett to Brett Lovett, who kicks to centre-half forward, but Brown with the numbers to Russell, to Shawball, to Curran. Gee, there's been some good players for Collingwood tonight. It was Krasiska, not Curran. Now Curran getting the kick to centre-half forward. Anthony Rocker got rid of his opponent and Gasper pretty cleverly. Pushes out to Paul Williams. Williams, well done. Back to Anthony Rocker. Rocker's handball out wide. Taken by McDonald at half forward. No free kick to Melbourne. In the pocket, now Pyman, who started this quarter on the ground. Phoebe over the top to Woden, put him under pressure, back to Pyman. The feature of the game has been Collingwood's alertness and the fact that they've been cat-like in their reflexes and been able to tackle. Glenn Lovett gets it to Matthew Phoebe. Neitz and Shawball. Shawball playing extremely well. Kevin's mentioned his inexperience a couple of times tonight, but he's a player of the future. Taylor back to Brown. Brown pumps it in high to half forward. Oh, nobody wanted it. Well, Woden might have got a call out there, looked around, and it's going to be a bounce. 50 metres from Collingwood's goal. There's Shane Watson. Started as a forward. Stephen Phoebe and Paul Hopgood both injured. Stephen Tingay. Subdued effort by him tonight. I know he's had 12 kicks, but it hasn't been a performance to remember. Burns, Patterson, Patterson to kick his second, and he pushes and misses. But from Melbourne's point of view, the distracting thing there, or the disappointment, was that nobody put a tackle on him. Just a bit of a bump. I think he was hoping for another kick. 15-13 to 6-11.
Hyman. Melbourne looks like they're prepared to run. They've just got to make things happen. Back to Smith from the half-back line. Kicks to space. Neats. Only winner up forward. He's kicked 3, does well. Kicks back towards the half-forward line. Brown's been outstanding. Bad bounce. Favours Uze. Can he swing it around? It's a great kick right on the goal line. Hits the post. Got to take risks now, Melbourne. Throw caution to the wind. Try and move the ball as quickly as possible. See if they can make something happen. Get it into the forward line quickly. Scotty Russell, one of the most underrated players in the competition. Playing his 147th game tonight. Came across in 1990, along with Tony Francis, playing the premiership in his first year. Williams kicks the ball back to the edge of the centre square. Throw. He's had a great night to Buckley. This is what Collingwood's done all night. They're being prepared to run. Buckley outside 50. It's a floater. Ingerson playing in front to Jimmy Steins. Should have taken it. Buckley did well. Ran back with a fly to the ball. Collingwood back into attack. Good fist away this time by Smith. Pounced on by Curran. Back to Burns. He's got that mad stare in his eyes. Burns with a long bomb. What a kick! Now, it's right on the line. It's been marked or it's a goal. I fancy it's a goal. It's all going right for Collingwood tonight.
And I guess the worrying sign now, if you were Neil Baum, is that a couple of the players have begun to look a little bit disinterested in proceedings here. And as we watch this ball, it appears that Ingerson does have his arms over the line. And a good decision then by the umpire.
Dipper, what's happened with Sean Charles?
More bad news for Melbourne. Sean Charles has come off the ground with a hamstring tear, and also Stephen Phoebe's back on the ground with a similar injury.
Gee, that's mounting up, isn't it? It'll be a big cost from this match tonight. They're going to lose a lot of percentage, a lot of confidence, and a few players by the look of it. Remembering Gary Lyon before the match, Anthony Rock, a good mark. He's a real athlete, this young man. See him growing week by week. Belts it to full forward. Watson. Celebrations all around the arena tonight for Collingwood.
It was just the sheer carry on this ball that made it such a dangerous kick, wasn't it?
It's kicked at 60 metres. Watson from the pocket. Hooks it to behind. Sort of played a cameo role, Watson, tonight, hasn't he? He's been that other option, the quick forward, leading forward, with the two rockers more inclined to take the specky. 6-12 to 16-14. Ingerson to Viney. I think from Melbourne's point of view, they've just got to try and kick a score now, don't they? Something over 10 goals. Leoncelli. Oh, Obbs should have taken it. Rocker. Well done, Taylor, but now Brett Lovett to Obbs, to Glenn Lovett, to Jim Steins. Again, no time. Collingwood not giving Melbourne any time to do anything constructive with the football. Obbs floats it to half forward. Clarkson attacking it. Russell with him. Rips it away. Oh, well cut off by Neitz. Still with Neitz. Under pressure. Rode a bump or two. Tried to get his kick away. Couldn't. Collingwood looked like coming out of it. Though Shawwell held up. They rode the bump beautifully to Russell. To Presta Giacomo. Nearly lost his shorts. Off the ground, Williams. Free kick coming to Melbourne. To Pyman. Hasn't had a lot of opportunities in the two games so far. Ex-Collingwood player. And before that, North Melbourne. So, ironically, the first two matches he plays for Melbourne are against his former teammates, North and Collingwood. You doubt whether he'll make the distance. He floats it. Collingwood getting back. And they can see Gavin Brown doesn't waste any time. Sitting on a 10-goal lead, belts it over the line. 6-13 to 16-14.
And let's just watch the way they clear the ball from defence. On a number of occasions, they've been able to spot a kick, and then one of the other Collingwood defenders just takes off down the ground. Melbourne hasn't been able to wake up to this occurring tonight. It's happened probably half a dozen times.
Burns a minute ago, kicking a goal. Now he's kicking out from fullback. Most of the time he's been warned by the umpire to hurry up. Monkhorst, but what a great mark by Jeff Farmer. Got amazing talent. Loose play to Steins, point of the centre square. His work cut out tonight. Monkhorst and Richardson double teaming, goes short. One-on-one contest. Patterson tried to win it, couldn't do so. Obst, hurried kick. Chance for Farmer to kick a goal. So Jeff Farmer kicks his first goal.
Farmer, like most of the Melbourne forwards, have been starved of opportunities tonight. Last week they were just terrific in the wet. Tonight he's really had to run far and wide to get possessions. But on a couple of occasions when he has been able to gain control of the ball, he has still looked like the wizard.
Double the score, Collingwood, 110 to 55. Farmer's first goal for the night. Curran, good player. Out wide, nice kick to Buckley. It's about 75 metres from goal. Kicks the ball to the pocket. Armat the target. Good stretch, couldn't hold it. Still Armat. Phoebe, that's Matthew Phoebe. And again, it's going to be a bounce.
You'd be pretty disappointed if you're a coach in that instance with Buckley. He has been a good player tonight, but you've got a lot of tall timber down there in the forward line. He tries to pinpoint a kick to probably the smallest bloke in the forward line.
Gasper and Rocker, and Watson over the top with Nettlebeck. Push forward by Sav Rocker, and it's going to go through from behind. So Collingwood 16-15, Melbourne 7-13. Ingerson. In this era of designated kickers, he's a strange choice. He's going to get another kick, which I think might be fortunate.
That was a strange choice too.
So Melbourne player might have been within 10 metres of the square when he kicked. He goes to Nettlebeck. Watson over the top. Collingwood seem to have had numbers all night. Buckley can handball in board. He does. Patterson, normally a good finisher, just misses. 1-3 to Patterson tonight. He kicked 3 goals in the opening round last week. And Collingwood still with this huge lead. 16 goals, 16 to Melbourne, 7-13.
1 goal 3 tonight to Patterson. His last 3 scoring shots have all been behinds. Matthew Phoebe bring the ball back. 16-16, 112. Collingwood, Melbourne, 7-13-55. Once more, another poor kick. Williams, a juggling mark. He's on 50. Loose player. Buckley. He's been great tonight, Nathan Buckley. He's carried the ball. There was an instant in the third term. We see Neil Baum still upset with the way his side's playing, where Buckley ran 60 metres just to shepherd and to encourage Robbie Armat with the ball.
A lot of his hard running goes unrewarded, Kevin, but it's a great thing to have as part of the armoury.
Usually a great kick. You'd think he'd kick this for a goal. Straight through the centre.
Well, Melbourne haven't been able to clear the ball anywhere near as successfully as Collingwood has tonight when they've been kicking the ball out from behind. It was another occasion when they tried to pinpoint a kick from full back. Perhaps their designated kicker on that occasion, Ingerson, not as accomplished as the designated kickers that Collingwood has been using tonight. And Nathan Buckley, the consummate professional.
Buckley's first goal. Collingwood back to over 10 goals. Steins, who must be bitterly disappointed, along with all his teammates and coaching staff. Monkhorst, Buckley, 21st kick to fall forward. Rocco, is it? It's a good mark. That was a real contest. There were 3 or 4 players trying to get their fists to the ball, and Rocker able to take front position and hold his ground and take a really good mark. 7 goals tonight.
I think Damien Moncourse had a beautiful tap. Did you just see the way he changed direction of his hand in the air just to palm that ball softly across to Buckley? A set play, and now they line up for another goal.
Shouldn't miss Rocker. He's had a great night. Really positive start to this season. Goals. That's his best effort ever against Melbourne. He had kicked 7 months before. Only 2 Collingwood players have ever kicked 10 goals against Melbourne: Gordon Coventry and Peter McKenna. I just wonder if Sav could join those 2 famous names tonight. He's got 2 to go. Coventry and McKenna. What names they are.
Well, he's got plenty of time. Just under 12 minutes of action left. Been a big night for the Rocker brothers. Monkhurst has got better as the night's gone on. Curran's been good all night. Number 24 for Collingwood. Steins driven into the ground by McDonald. Tackling tonight of Collingwood has been exceptional. Jason Taylor on the boundary line, just stretching. Bounce inside the centre square. Monkhurst to Burns, out in front. Wild has to run on the ball. The numbers overlapping. Crow, can he break the tackle? Magic play by Collingwood.
Well, that's what they've done all night. They've just run incredibly hard. And once again, a great tap out there from Damien Monkhurst. And just the willingness of the Collingwood players to run tonight in numbers, and a magnificent shepherd that we saw in the top of the screen on that occasion by Watson. He hurt himself, but he just paved enough space for Crow to run into.
So impressive tonight, Collingwood. 19 goals to 7. Steins might have just won it. Monkhurst playing an inspired last quarter to half forward. Big fly by Richardson. They can't do anything wrong now. Rocker's on the lead. Anthony Rocker's running to the goal square. Mark Richardson, his 50th match tonight. Family's contributed so much to the club over the years. His father was one of their best players ever. He's got it close. He might have got it, I think. It's their 20th goal. Well done.
Don't those Magpie fans. So once again, Damien Monkhurst not getting the tap, but getting the ball out of the centre, getting it forward, and terrific bit of athleticism then by Richardson to get in front then and take that mark. And the chant has gone up here at the MCG. The Collingwood fans loving this. So's Richardson.
So we can see the Melbourne fans starting to file out of the MCG. Last Thursday night was a great start for the Demons. Not tonight. Viney kicks a poor one. Russell, how good has he been tonight? To Burns. Hard to pick the best 3 Collingwood players. They've all been good. They haven't had a weak link. Even the players off the interchange bench have been outstanding. Buckley would be close to the best. 25 possessions, 6 marks.
I think he's within kicking distance too, KB.
Well, he's kicked 1 goal in this quarter.
That means he must be forward of centre, Tim, is he?
He's kicking from 55 metres. So Nathan Buckley unloads a big bomb. It's one for the high flyers.
Oh.
Rocker! Big Sav. Up and away. He'll be going for his 9th goal.
Well, that was just like in the lounge room of the Rocker household, that one, because if Sav didn't get it, Anthony was. You can imagine how many times the boys have had a bit of a joust in the lounge room at the Rocker family home. And there you go.
Point blank range. He's got 9. Well, I said earlier, Tim, that he reminds me of a young Tony Lockett. When he's fit, he looks an awesome forward down there.
He's a great athlete, and I think, look, he's been terrific in the air tonight, and his leading has been exceptional. But the thing that has really impressed me is he seems to have found or discovered the fact that he does have a big body too, Kevin, and he's been using that tonight. In the past, he has been probably, maybe because he's had a bit of a shoulder injury, but he hasn't been prepared probably to split the packs. But I really believe tonight his game has gone and taken it to a new dimension.
5 goals in 6 minutes for Collingwood. 7-13 to 21-16. So Rocker on 9. As I said earlier, Gordon Coventry and Peter McKenna are the only Collingwood players to have kicked 10 goals against Melbourne in 208 meetings between the two clubs. Rocker is 1 away from that magic mark. And they're 2 of the most famous names in Collingwood's history. 2 of the greatest full forwards ever. Full stop for any club. Liancelli to Steins to Bartlett, who has been magnificent. So has this football team tonight. Taylor to McDonald. They're running rings around Melbourne. McDonald to full forward. Rocker came in late. Matt. Another one. Unbelievable. 6 in 8 minutes.
I did say earlier in the game, Bruce, I believe that Collingwood is perhaps the most exciting side in the competition. They certainly were last year when they were flowing early in the game, in the season. They had their problems towards the middle of the season. They really weren't able to recover. But the way they're playing at the moment, and they're trusting their instincts, they're going to be terribly difficult to beat in this first part of the season.
148 plays 55. South Rockers booted 9. Can he become just the 3rd Collingwood player to kick 10 against Melbourne? Stacks on the mill. What is important, apart from having the big guns up forward, Tony Shaw would be certainly looking for the likes of Barnett, Armat. We've seen Patterson leave the field at ground level, because if they don't mark it down there, it's obviously going to come to the ground. They need good small players, and tonight they've really ran onto the ball hard. Had very good crummers tonight, Collingwood, and that's important in the overall setup. But they're tackling. They've been ferocious tonight. Burns to Taylor. They run to space. They're not just running hard because they're a long way in front. They've done it from the first bounce. Ingerson goes short, looking for Obst. Rebound, caught high. Free kick should have been for Collingwood.
And KB, although Sav Rocker has kicked 9 goals, Collingwood has still had 11 goal kickers tonight, and that's a very pleasing aspect for a coach.
You see Obst there. A bit of frustration maybe in the end, and just pounding him into the ground. Burns has kicked 1 goal. So he centers a ball. Look at this. Oh, he misses a sitter. His first mistake tonight for Rocker.
Oh.
Love it. Just bombs the ball over the line on the full. Actually, you can't believe that Rocker missed that one, can you?
He's got too far under the ball on that occasion. The kick was a little bit high.
So Burns outside of 50. The crowd is expecting something here, maybe something special. Big pack.
Oh.
Raffle it.
Take your pick.
Bingo. Lucky number 3. So Richardson, point blank range. This will be their 8th goal for the quarter.
Let's just take a look at this one that Sav Rocker did miss. Maybe the ball was caught in the light. It just seemed to have lost it then. And then just a nice high kick. It was Richardson who came from behind. In fact, he probably just about plucked it out of Anthony's hands on that occasion.
(23-7). 99-point margin. Breaking the records here, Collingwood. against Melbourne. Again they go forward. Bartlett to half forward. Taylor, well done, bringing it to ground. Wild tried to get it out to Williams, who put a tackle on, which was pretty good, and then wins it back beautifully. Handball is excellent to McDonald. McDonald floats it to full forward. Well done at the back. Is there a free kick down the ground? I think it's against Richardson, is it? Or pushing going to Collingwood.
Sav.
Is it Rocker? I think Sav's going to kick his 10th. A push out, and Rocker is going to join Coventry and McKenna as the only Collingwood players to kick 10 against Melbourne. He's done it. History. $10 for Rocker. The greatest winning margin ever by Collingwood is 109 points over Melbourne. They're closing in on that fast, 105 in front.
Obviously a push on Alex McDonald, paid down the ground. Sav Rocker, the lucky recipient. And Collingwood has now kicked 8 goals in 12 minutes, and not one Magpie supporter has left the MCG. I don't know a group of supporters that love winning more than the Collingwood supporters. Other supporters might have tried to get on a tram or a train a little bit early, Kevin, but not the Collingwood supporters. They love it. And why shouldn't they? They've seen a wonderful display from a very polished side here tonight.
Well, they've kicked 9 goals for the quarter. There's still just a tick over 6 minutes of action left. 160 plays 55. Forlorn Jimmy Steins at the centre bounce. Locks horns once more with Monkhurst, who's been dominating this last term. Farmer from the centre square. That's been rare tonight for Melbourne. To Neitz. He's kicked 3. He's had his hands full since half-time. Love it. This is the tackling of Collingwood. Brown's led it from the opening bounce. The skipper. He's led by example. Kicks it wide. Shawbull. He's led the defence as well alongside Brown. The veteran, the youngster, McDonald. Back to Shawbull. Here's a chance. 2 Rocker brothers. Gaspar off the ground. Forces it through. Magpie, the Demons' defence has been under so much pressure. The ball coming down quickly. It'll be a nightmare playing in the back line for Melbourne tonight. Ingerson started at centre half forward. Sent down to try and help the defence. A floater. Not much penetration there. Taylor with brute strength taken to the ground by Obst. We've got a ball up. 65 metres out from Collingwood's goal.
Indication of Collingwood's dominance in this last quarter. They've taken the ball into their forward line 18 times, as we see that big crowd tonight. 61,000 people in attendance here, and I'd say about 45,000 of those are Collingwood's fans, and they're still sitting tight.
And seeing a very good side in action. Taylor got the boot to the ball quickly. No distance. Wild came into the side. Barnett has been handy off the bench. Here's the hero. Rocker has it punched away. Patterson back off the interchange bench. He's kicked 3 behinds in this last term. Matthew, Phoebe to Richardson. Just shovels the ball out. Armat out on the full.
161 to 55. Ingerson short to Pyman. There's going to be a lot of soul searching in the Melbourne camp this week. We've got to travel to Sydney next Friday night. And won't the Swannies be hot for their first home game of the season? So that good work against North, as Obst takes a good mark. A lot of it, all of it undone really here tonight. He's tried pretty hard, Obst. Just a couple of mistakes under pressure, but he's really had a go. McDonald, good tackle by Uze and a bounce. So Collingwood's kicked 9 goals in the last quarter to Melbourne's 1. It's been explosive football. There's Adam Uze. Came in tonight when Gary Lyon withdrew before the match. Neats, Clarkson, Brett Lovett, high ball. Pushed away by Stephen Phoebe, who's very restricted with his hamstring. Melbourne down to about 18. And just reflecting, Tim, it's probably a good thing that Gary Lyon didn't play his 200th tonight. Teams try to live for personal milestones, and would have been a shocker if he'd had to remember something like this. 30 metres from Melbourne's goal. Let's hope they can kick a couple before the siren sounds. Wild to Crow to Bartlett. So many contributors for Collingwood tonight. And for the second time, Melbourne giving a free down the ground. That's how Rocker kicked his last goal. Patterson's got it. Team spirit at Collingwood. They're willing to give up the ball so quickly to their teammates. Crow gets it. He goes short to Taylor, who's been all right, hasn't he? He has made a contribution. Coming in for Richard Osborne. Sort of team at the moment you wouldn't want to pull out before a match. You might not get your spot back. Moncourse to Bartlett. Bartlett chips to full for Rocker. Couldn't take it. On the left. He has kicked one on the left before. Goes for it and misses. A behind. And what's been almost a faultless display. He's kicked 10 goals to 24-18 to 7-13.
Kicked a behind in the second quarter and one in this last quarter. Apart from that, it's been magnificent. There's Tony Shaw and his brother Ray Shaw there, working the board in the coach's box. Woden drops it, Armit pounced on it. Across the face of goals.
I think their brother Rick's going to take them home tonight too.
Punched away by Crow. Lovett, Deviney, caught. Tackling has been just ferocious from the Pies. Patterson caught by Lovett. Brett Lovett, Wild's hand pass. Goes to Russell. They're hot, Collingwood. Just going to go through, touched on the line. There's been some close decisions. Mainly they've gone Collingwood's way. Not that time. Just under 2 minutes of action left. Ingerson finds Gaspar. Right on the defensive 50. Jimmy Stein's wide. Under pressure that time from Anthony Rocker. Lovett makes space. He's ignored. Goes away Woden. Carries the ball to the half-forward line. Just kicks a high ball. They haven't really taken many marks tonight. Brown punches the ball 25 metres back. Great crumbing by Armat. The hand pass was poor. Lovett from inside 50. Kicks a point.
Had a few kicks tonight, Glenn Lovett. 15 and 10 handballs.
Statistically, easily Melbourne's best tonight.
24-7 the scoreboard. Crow to Shawball. In pretty good distance, really, almost at the 50. In short to Russell, has played a lot of his footy at the back tonight. Floats it to centre wing, Neats. Brown, oh, well done. Gee, he is rejuvenated, isn't he? To Bartlett. Comes up to half forward. Kicks the ball towards the pocket. Williams there with Phoebe, and just out of play.
In giving votes tonight, you'd have to apologise to about 16 Collingwood players.
Yes, they've had all the good ones. Richardson over the top. Obst cut off the handball. Farmer. Clever to Clarkson on the left. Centre wing. Shawball and Neats. A couple of the young guns, aren't they, those two?
Collingwood have been impressive tonight with their attacking play, but they've also been extremely disciplined. When they're caught behind, they punch on every occasion. Now, I think that helps the other players because they are predictable to their teammates.
Moncourse and Steins. Down to Wild. Bartlett. Could Collingwood kick one more? It's at 50. Nettlebeck. Melbourne through Glenn Lovett. Chips to Brett Lovett. Here's a chance for Melbourne very late. Wide to Smith. He's playing up forward. Couldn't take it. Play on call. Presta Giacomo with him. Smith still got the footy though. Tries to get to Pyman. Presta Giacomo wants the boundary line. Back to Smith. Free kick to Collingwood. Well, that's symbolic as the siren sounds. only the second time they've beaten Melbourne by over 100 points. What a match for Collingwood and for Severio Rocker, who's down there with a big dipper.
Dimas Bruce, well, first, congratulations on a marvellous effort tonight, 10 goals.
Yeah, it was good to get a few goals on the board, and all the boards did well. The ball just came down that freely, and it just gave me the opportunity to get free off my backman.
It's a very exciting team you've got here at the moment. It's very quick along the ground, and over 11 goal kickers tonight.
Absolutely. I mean, we've got a lot of guys running forward, and they're feeding the forwards quite well, and they're just doing a really good job.
Now you and your brother sort of fighting for a couple of grabs in the goal scoop. What's going on there?
Oh, just a bit of competition. I mean, we're all told to fly for our marks if we think we can get them, and if not, at least it comes to ground.
It's good to have your brother at the club. Looks like you guys are really enjoying playing with each other.
Yeah, fantastic. He's turned over a new leaf and started to really enjoy his football, and that's what it's all about.
And just to let you know, you've equal commentaries to Peter McKenna's record against Melbourne, 10 goals. Well done, Sav.
Thanks, Doug.
Good on you, buddy.
Thanks.
Grab someone.